Hello folks, this is just a really quick intro video to the next series of ActionScript tutorials, trying to ramp up the difficulty a bit and ultimately looking at making something a bit like this. So it's very basic in terms of graphics because I want to be able to make it on screen for you, but there's slightly more coding going on, so I've got all sorts of stuff from tweens to messing with filters and so on, and we're doing all of this, well not all of it, but a lot of it in external ActionScript classes, which we haven't done in the last series of tutorials. So the difficulty is a bit higher, but the freedom to do whatever you want is there as well. So really you should be able to make much more than this game when we're finished, but for the sake of keeping this series quite short, this is what I've opted for. A lot of this menu is redundant now as well. The scoreboard and the editor definitely won't have time to do. The scoreboard was there because I was going to show you how to put it onto multimedia, but I think I'm going to stick with Congregate. So the last couple of lessons in this series we'll look at putting the game onto congregate.com. I'm just going to tone that volume down. Key combos are in this game, so we do use keyboard input, which isn't there in the last series, I don't think. Let's have a look at the game anyway. So I'm going to use the mouse here to aim and fire, and I've got keyboard combos to activate various abilities for this little turret. Again, the graphics are very simple. I'm just going to go and mash a bunch of keys to make it do stuff. So we've got a blue bar of energy up at the top, and various different keyboard inputs give you different buffs and perks and so on. So we can fire more than one bullet at a time, or we can fire faster, and so on. The adrenaline there, you can see all the perks at the bottom, counting down, as you might see in role-playing games and so on, Final Fantasy, Warcraft games, things like that. I've got health, fairly standard in any kind of shooting game. This stuff at the bottom probably won't leave in the final game, it's just while you're programming a game it helps to have some sort of display showing how well it's running. So we had an FPS there, which hopefully stayed around 30 or more. And we had the ships count just so we knew what was going on the screen. We've got a score, and again this submit score won't be there because we're automatically going to throw it onto the Congregate servers. There's a whole host of other stuff going on in this game as well that I can't really go through until we actually jump in and make it. But like I said, the biggest difference is that we're actually going to use ActionScript files instead of doing everything in the FLA. We'll still do some code in the FLA because it makes sense to use the timeline that way. But ActionScript files are very good for reusing stuff, and they're just a bit more professional, aren't they? If you know how to use external files, you can cart them around, and they're very small. They're just like notepad files really. So as you can see, you just put your ActionScript goes here. They work across all versions of Flash, well, CS3 to 5. You don't have to be working in the version that you made the FLA in. And that's pretty much it really, that's the intro. The first video of the real series will be looking at just setting up the first class. So we'll look at making a ship that flies around the screen a little bit of it on its own accord. And we'll use some different events that we haven't looked at to make that happen. So I'll see you in that video. Bye.